Ryan, we've talked, well, quite extensively at this point, but specifically about weather alerts.
Yeah.
So, earlier
I
on,
was just checking the weather.
okay,
We were
yes,
considering doing this outside, but
yes, but
decided
decided
against
against
it.
it. Yeah, I've voiced my concerns, tornado watch, tornado warning, that sort of thing.
That was
More
a while ago.
recently, yes, exactly. More recently, got the wind advisory, red flag warnings, all this stuff. I got one the other day. This thing just keeps happening, Ryan. And
The weather keeps happening.
it does, believe it or not. Specifically, I got this warning and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. What it is, it's not a warning, it's not an advisor, it's a special weather statement. That's what it popped up on my weather app, just special weather statement.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that was my first question
What
exactly.
does that entail exactly?
And so I went in, and so I'm like, oh, I see.
Is that entire thing the weather statement?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Well, when I opened it up, and it says action recommended: avoid the subject event as per the instructions. What's going on? This is just the generic. This is just a generic thing, and then you have to go all the way down, like click see more, and then it tells you strong winds and low relative humidity will result in very high fire danger again today. It's like, oh, you should have just led with that. Just
Don't they
lead
already
with it.
have a warning for that?
Yes. Well, it seems like they've got 4 or 5. But yeah, now we've also got just a special weather statement. And it just seems like we need to consolidate here. We need to
Well,
figure out what's going
This
on.
seems like exactly what the purpose of the red flag one.
Right. Or the
So-
wind advisory.
Sure.
I know, dude. I
Sure.
don't know.
I don't know.
But no, they just, I don't even know what's next, frankly. They're just going to start posting updates about their
Blowing
personal
up your
lives.
phone. I don't-
Exactly.
They just can't get enough.
But that's how it goes.
Last
Everyone.
cold open ever.
Yes, last cold open.
Wow.
Well,
Not our best.
thanks everyone for being here. Episode 50. We got got the live studio audience
That's
in the
right.
building. So
First and last live studio audience.
that's right. Maybe it's for the best that we don't have any more of these
Sure.
coming. But regardless, we appreciate everyone being here, showing up, and you showing up online. Gotta give some love to the async folks. But anyway, Ryan, how have you been? How are you coping with the end of the podcast and school year and college career?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Actually, I wasn't doing well over the weekend, but now I'm doing great.
Well, I appreciate your vulnerability with
Yeah,
me
no
there.
problem. Mostly because all of my finals were all due over the weekend.
Okay.
I have no finals this week. Nothing,
Finals week is kind of
nothing to speak of at all, actually.
Damn. Yeah.
It is, really. We've talked about that before. But I've sort of just been chilling,
Okay.
doing things I actually want to do.
That's incredible.
Which is great
for a change.
for once.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, what about you? You probably have a deep learning something or another.
Believe it or not, Ryan, I'm feeling particularly blessed this week
Really?
because I'm done with deep learning. It's done. It's over. It doesn't have anything on me.
You're done learning forever.
Yes, at least deeply. And yeah, so we got it done. We got it turned in. I was voicing my concerns over this assignment last week.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's a miracle, Ryan, because we got 100% and we didn't get this thing to work.
Yeah.
So
it didn't seem like it was going to from the way you described it before.
And I was
You're
pretty
telling me
accurate.
you didn't teach the machine to play hearts.
Yeah, no, it didn't learn at all.
Okay.
And but we got 100%, and I was frankly shocked.
It's the thought that counts.
But yeah, I was bracing for impact, but turns out I don't know. Just needed to welcome it.
The grade reminds me. I forgot to mention this. I got my marketing simulation grade back.
Oh yeah.
A lot better than I thought it'd be.
Incredible.
I'm feeling blessed.
Okay.
I got a 93%.
Oh my goodness.
Which is an A.
Yeah.
And I still have an A in marketing, which is awesome.
Even after putting all that money into Pinterest.
Yeah.
You would have thought that would have been a failing grade there, but
yeah, we did great.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the other classes, but
yeah. I am mostly done for finals week. I don't have any actual finals, but I do have a project that I'm wrapping up for early Christianity class. So
which one's that?
That class or the project?
Project.
Okay, so yeah,
early Christianity.
That's the one that's, I don't know if I've told you about this or not, but it's really you just do anything. That's the project. It's any topic in the class.
You told me about this a little.
Yeah,
but you didn't know what you were going to do.
Any format. Well, now I know what I'm going to do, and I haven't done it yet. But
okay.
I've got till Friday, and that's what counts. Yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast format. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
So
We're actually doing it right now.
if you don't mind, I'm just
We'll
gonna go
just
into a little bit of
transition
history
into okay.
for a second.
Yeah, could you start at the beginning?
Yeah. No. But yeah. So
Didn't we talk about you maybe doing like a translations, modern translations of the Bible?
did we?
This was when we were talking about how you were at your niece's baptism.
Oh yeah. And the priest was just going off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're not doing that.
I'm not doing that. No,
Okay.
I'm not doing. I'm not doing the Nathan Gentry translation.
What are you actually doing?
I'm talking about money. Money and religion. That's how it goes. But yeah, we are just looking at how the viewpoints are changing over time. I still need to do a lot of research on it, to be honest. But I'm hoping that through the podcast format, I'll be able to just kind of.
So you're actually doing a podcast?
I'm not.
I thought that was a joke
about that.
I really did.
No, that's actually the format that I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to keep it a little bit more low key.
Picked out?
Oh,
More money, more problems.
Well, so the name of the podcast, which is going to exist for one episode, is called This Apostolic Life. I don't know if you're familiar with This American Life, but it's one of the top podcasts. So we're just, ripping off of that. Right. Yes. One of the top two. And it's not number one. But yeah, so I'm just doing that. Okay. Tentative title is episode 37. We start on episode 37. Money Talks. We've got a sponsor for it as well.
Really?
Rocket Money. So it should be good.
Is that an actual sponsor or just...
Well, I'm not getting paid, but it is going to be actually announced in the episode.
Great.
So they said to make it professional, and I don't know
in the money theme
how else to do it other than that.
Yeah, you don't have any practice or anything.
No, I don't. So that's the plans. That's really all I've got left for finals week. But as for this weekend, you were stressing. I was having a great time, frankly.
Wow. We're the inverse.
Yes, exactly. So maybe it'll be reversed this week. But yeah, I went back to Kansas City for a number of reasons. The main one was to go see my brother-in-law's hooding ceremony. So not a graduation. I think I might have said that. Not a graduation, but yeah, he's he was.
Did you figure out what he is hooded in?
Yes, neuroscience.
Neuroscience.
So I was pretty close, but okay,
no,
actually
you weren't.
Well, I said science.
You said pain doctor.
Well, I said pain and then I said science. So in between, I know one was too specific and one was too broad.
You didn't mention the brain at all.
Well, it's kind of implied. Okay. You need the brain to feel pain.
That's so true.
To my knowledge. I'll have to ask him.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, do you feel pain? I don't know. Yeah. So, and this is also what's throwing me off because I looked up the different colors of hoods.
Yeah.
Because they kind of break it into segments. But one of the hood that he got is just a PhD hood. So it's not like a science, it's
not a neuroscience.
No, they don't go that.
It's not a pain hood.
No, they're definitely not. Yeah, it's just PhD. So everyone who gets a PhD gets the same color of hood. But with that, yeah, I don't know. I guess the others are masters. I don't know. Well, no, it's not. It's very typical apparently. But anyway, I guess I just thought it seems like a PhD. It covers a lot of different topics. That was my thing. Is that like they've got hoods for all these like economics or something. I don't know if that's true, but they've got like very specific things, and it seems like you get a PhD in a specific thing. So that's kind of where I'm at. Anyway, that's not an important part. Yeah, so I went to see him get hooded. First off, had a party on Friday night, so that was exciting. But then
a hooding party.
Hooding party, yes, okay. Exactly. That one was probably more a grad party, but regardless. Yeah, so then Saturday rolls around, we go to the ceremony, and this was in kind of like an old, kind of like not a rec center, that's not right, but it's called the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall, but they've got like a gym in there. I don't know, it's whatever. Regardless. It's all a blur.
What were we talking? What were we talking about right before we realized we were in a final?
The hooding.
The hooding.
Yeah.
The hooding. Okay.
Anyway, I think we
Your
should
brother
address
got
this
hooded.
though. So maybe,
Guys, nothing has changed at all.
Yeah, no, it's looking exactly the same.
Yeah. Are we recording, by the way?
We are. Yeah, we are.
Can you double check for me?
I did. Well, a slight change of scenery here. Slight change of plans. Turns out we got finals going on. You know, I thought no one was taking finals on finals week. I thought there was
I don't have any finals.
So,
I don't know what these guys are doing.
So, you know, I guess that's the danger when you take a classroom. And
Yeah.
so apologies, first off. Sorry for holding that up. We just had important business to attend to, frankly.
Yeah, I don't know. Final episode,
Yeah.
final exam.
I thought that
Which
would
one's more
trump.
important? You be
To
the
be
judge.
fair, they didn't list it on the outside of the classroom.
To be
That
fair,
was the first thing that I looked for.
we had a sticky note.
Yeah, and they had nothing. So I don't know. You tell me. And you would say they definitely have the right of way.
Yeah,
anyway, so
probably.
we have changed rooms here. We're in a little bit of a smaller room, which is probably better.
It's a little more,
but
more intimate.
more right sized. It is like I'm just looking down. We're at a conference
It
table,
is.
and so everyone is just like.
It seems like we're kind of at a board of directors meeting.
Yeah.
And we're the people that are dealing with the Zoom people.
Yeah,
And everyone else is-
exactly. Everyone else is watching us deal with the Zoom people, pretty much.
Yep.
But anyway, so we can get back into it. But
Sure.
yeah. So I went to my brother-in-law's hooding.
Yes.
We're not going to go through all that again, but yeah. So basically, we had this ceremony. It was in this like really old kind of gymnasium type building, and it was a pretty cool place. But it was just I had quite the encounter there. Not with a person per se, more with a restroom, and
With a restaurant?
with a restroom.
A restroom.
A restroom. Yes. I was like,
You had an encounter with a restaurant.
yes.
This will be good.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I guess they say begin with the end in mind, and in the end, I left the restroom crying, laughing.
Crying, laughing.
Yes.
All right. That's a lot better than the alternative.
Right. And so basically, let's just set the scene here. It's going to be a pretty quick scene setting.
You're in a restroom.
Right. Well, no, you're outside the restroom. You're like, let's get ready for the graduation here. And it's not even a graduation, it's a hooding. But anyway,
What do you mean get ready?
I think you know what I mean.
As in, okay.
Use the restroom.
Use the restroom so you
Yeah.
don't have to during the middle of the sermon.
Right.
Right. You don't want to miss it.
So I walk up to the restroom. And the first thing that something's going to be off is I see stairs going down.
What?
After entering the doorway, you got stairs leading down into the restroom. Immediately after seeing that, you're like, what's going on right now? Boom. I see light coming from the right-hand side. And I'm like, oh, we got a mirror over there. Not a mirror. It's a cutout that looks down on the urinals. And I'm like, what on earth is going on? Who decided that would be a good idea? So I'm like, I'm off. I'm thrown off. I start walking down. I hear a guy behind me go, what the I'm like, dude, I don't know. I turn back and I'm like, look, we're in this together, man. I don't know what's about to happen. And so then, I do my business.
Sure.
I have to hold the stall door closed because it doesn't latch fully.
Yep.
And then I wash my hands. And as I'm leaving, I see that I was so distracted coming in, I didn't even realize at the bottom of the stairs, there's 2 stools without any stalls. So it's just you got toilets at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
I was so thrown off
You
by
didn't use
everything
those?
else. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't use them. And frankly, I don't know anyone who would.
Yeah.
Because you're right in the line of fire.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, so all this is like just combining into the
So
most
as you're
bizarre-
walking down the stairs, would you be able to see these?
Oh, yes, they're
like,
right in front of you.
Somebody's
You're
using them and
looking
you're
down.
just descending.
Yes, if you were not
That is
distracted
awful.
by the maybe that's why they did the cutout is we got to draw people's eyes away.
Sure.
And I don't know. I mean, I was looking back to this guy who we're going into the trenches together.
You're looking the one direction that you normally wouldn't be.
Right, exactly. When you're going downstairs, and so that just threw me off, and I was like, "This is going to be a great time." Yeah. Let's just say that. But anyway, so that was setting the tone there. That was the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the ceremony was great. There was, I don't know, it kind of set set my expectations for this upcoming graduation that we're going to be a part of.
Sure.
It's been a while. It's been about a year since I've been to a graduation. So, you kind of forget some of the things.
You have used the restrooms in Memorial though, right?
Right. Yes. No, actually, I don't know if I have, but I'm not planning to necessarily.
Okay.
That's not really what I was referring to. I'm moving past. I'm moving past the restrooms at this point. I'm just on to the graduation itself. But anyway, yeah, we got a lot of people on their phones during the graduation. It was really pretty distracting because they had this keynote speaker who, as she said, was responsible for AIDS in Kansas. But that was that was a joke. Someone had introduced her that way. She's like in the research effort for AIDS in Kansas.
Okay.
But someone had introduced her as the woman responsible for AIDS in Kansas. But anyway. So we got that. I'm trying to listen in to what she's saying, but everyone's just like chatting. I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of a weird vibe.
Yep.
We did have someone a couple rows down who was FaceTiming in their family, even though it was being live streamed like professionally. So, sure. But hey, if you do it better, you do it better. And then they ended up like wandering down to like where the graduates were. Like there was a separation between like the stands and like the graduates on the floor. And he like ended up leaving after FaceTiming. And then like a couple minutes passed. And I'm like, that's the guy. He's just like walking down amongst the graduates. I'm like, this is so chaotic. What's going on right now? But anyway, so that was a fun experience with him. And then really, I think the main takeaway that I had was kind of the trends of applause throughout the ceremony.
Sure.
This was not a like hold all applause to the end kind of situation. It was very much a clap for everyone situation, which, fair enough. They put in a lot of work.
But was it everyone or just?
Well, it actually was everyone. So
okay.
I tried to put in my part, but there was a steep drop off,
Yeah. Everyone starts strong.
Yeah. I personally was planning to not clap for anyone until the end, but a really strong support for the first person. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. So
they're feeling great.
Yeah, but it does definitely trail off. It keeps trailing off.
Hands start hurting.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was quite a few people, but let me tell you, at the end, it spikes right back up, way past where we started.
Yeah, of course.
It was incredible. Like I knew that it was the last person by audio before I knew visually. I was kind of like looking down and like, I'm getting into my rhythm of like clapping.
You're
like after people
in an unconscious state, just keep clapping.
Yeah, exactly. And then I hear just the crowd is going crazy. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. This dude, like they say his name and just immediately everyone's standing up, clapping.
Standing ovation.
Yeah, they're hugging. People are crying, I think. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
It's over. It's finally over.
Right, exactly. Yeah. After all this time. So that's just kind of a tip. If you can be the last person at a graduation, you're going to get an insane ovation.
Well, that's great for us since we're going first.
Well, among the first. But yeah. So if you're alphabetically last or whatever, do what you can to get in there at the end. But anyway, so that was kind of the main graduation. Then had Mother's Day as well in Kansas City. But then I made it back. And that was the weekend. So
nothing to speak of on Mother's Day? Really just brushed over that.
I mean, we had lunch. We had some hamburgers. And yeah, it was, happy Mother's Day, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
There really wasn't too much to speak of. But
no, that's okay.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be, and this is completely on me. I'll lead off with that. I thought there was going to be kind of a get-together Mother's Day lunch. When I look back at the text, it definitely said dinner. And so I was not ready for that. And I did not go to that. Okay. No, I did not stick around.
No,
but
that's fine.
I guess I did go to my cousin's.
Just for one day of the year.
Right. Well, yeah, forget about her birthday.
Sure.
That's, yeah, I did go to my cousin's high school graduation party. So did that. He's going to South Dakota State. Go Jackrabbits. But yeah, that was about it.
That was also over the weekend?
On Mother's Day, specifically.
On Mother's Day?
Yes.
You went to your cousin's high school graduation,
party,
but not your Mother's Day dinner.
Well, yes.
I'm sorry.
That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. I did see my grandma was there, and I saw her there. So
well, there you go.
I don't know if there's a grandmother's day, but
I think
figured
it's
that.
kind of like a Venn diagram.
Okay, yeah, kind of in that range. Yeah. Anyway, let's not dwell too much on that.
Okay.
What all have you been? What any big happenings going on for you recently?
I'll talk about my Mother's Day.
Okay,
if that's okay
Hey,
with you.
go for it. What should I have been doing? What did I miss out on?
I also went and saw my mother. Went to
Wow.
Omaha,
Okay.
the Big O, my old stomping grounds.
So far we're kind of even.
Yep.
Even Stevens.
And I actually, a lot of people will take their mom out to lunch or dinner or neither.
Okay. Yeah.
But
those are kind of the main options.
I decided to do something for my mom that she had wanted done. She just got a new van.
Okay.
And she likes to go bike riding. And so she had to attach like this kind of bike hitch to the back of it.
Sure.
So I did that for her.
Wow. Incredible.
I'm not saying I'm a good son, but I am saying that, she'll now be able to bike ride with her new van.
Sure. I mean, I got my mom a gift. If we're really trying to go,
it's not a competition. It's really not. It's not a competition at all. I would like to hear what you got her, but
right. I got her some chocolates.
Oh, great.
So for what that's worth, pretty labor intensive there. But no, hey, that's fine. I mean, I had lunch with my mom. Did you have lunch with your mom?
I'm trying to remember. We went and saw my grandmother, after I put the hitch on the van, but I don't think we got food.
Okay.
So you one up me there.
Scale. That's all I've ever wanted. Excellent. Okay, so a good Mother's Day then. Yep. That's what we like to hear.
Other than that, I was working on my website a lot.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You recall that?
Yeah. How did the checkers implementation go? Can I play you in checkers now?
You could. So here's the thing about checkers. As you know, it's a really complex game.
Yeah.
A lot of sort of logic going on
right.
in checkers. You can move the pieces around.
Okay.
On the board.
That's a key component.
If you want to capture other pieces.
Yeah.
It will be implemented.
It will. Oh, okay.
Yeah, will come.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah. Siri, I don't either. What do you mean by that exactly?
So it's not. It was not implemented.
Okay.
Exactly in time for the submission. But
scope cut.
Yeah, I mean, why would I sacrifice quality over quantity? That's kind of my viewpoint, right? More features, less features. It's all relative, right? And I got to say the other two features that I was saying I was going to do.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Worked perfectly.
Okay.
Better than I had even anticipated. The checkers game, it exists on the page.
Yeah.
And to be fair to me, when you said you only have to turn in screenshots, it's not exactly a great motivator for getting it to work exactly.
I would say certainly not.
Right.
I mean, and to make you feel better, when you mentioned that, hey, maybe you'll be able to play people online with checkers, I'm like, man, that sounds ambitious.
it was ambitious.
Play people.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That would have been that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And that probably would have been a final project in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But
so implementing the weather, that went better than you even thought that it would.
Well, yeah, I mean,
or did you say that? Implementing the time.
Not the weather. The time.
Yeah.
So yeah, the time sort of setting preferences thing. Great. Works. Great. Log in, pulls it, saves it, applies them. Mm-hmm. You can switch them, everything. So good. Feedback form, rating form. Great. So many ratings. 5 stars. You actually can't submit anything other than 5 stars.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think those work perfectly well.
They speak for themselves, frankly.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of what the professor is actually going to see, they're all just screenshots. So I'm not sure how you did a lot of functionality out of that. But
yeah. Well, there you go. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
man. That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah, that's good. Excellent. So got that wrapped up. Had a good Mother's Day.
Yep.
It's exciting. We're entering our last week here, Ryan. We're actually in the middle of it.
Yeah,
so and when you're listening to this, it's done. But unless you're here, I think that covers all of the edge cases. But anyway, I don't know if this has been your experience, Ryan, but for me, I feel like I've met more people this week, like that I haven't met before. That's kind of that's what meeting is. But I've met more new people this week than I did maybe even first week of college. That's the way it feels, at least. I'm meeting so many new people in my last week, and I don't even know what to do with it. I don't know how to handle it.
More new people this week than your first week of college.
That might be an exaggeration, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm exchanging numbers with people. It's like we're just, I don't know. And it's such a strange experience, when you meet someone for the first time and you're like, I don't know. I guess that's just how strangers are. But like you just
I really don't know what you're getting at.
Like so I'm not gonna see any of these people like ever again after this week.
I guess.
And
it's just kind of a weird flex. You're saying you're really popular during the last week.
No, I'm saying that like this is very out of the norm for me. I feel like I don't really usually meet that many new people, but for some reason this week in particular is just it's popping off. And it's like, man, maybe we should have done this earlier. And we could have
not during the middle of the last week.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had a similar experience. I don't really know how many new people I've met. I haven't been keeping track.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I've been counting.
I'm gonna say 3.
It's a big key metric for me. Well, one of these new people that I met was just a couple hours ago at the dining hall.
Really?
Shout out Sarah. Yeah, Charlie was there. She is a listener of the podcast.
Really?
Yes. And she was like, I felt like I had to come up and say that I've been listening to your podcast.
Someone you didn't know?
No,
I don't think I know her either. So,
well, you met her for sure. And maybe this will probably jog your memory. Because there's a lot of Sarahs out there. So it's like, how do you know if you've met her or not? But the ACT prep class.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I briefly met her. Yeah. I didn't know she listened though.
Well, yeah. So this is a great story, which I don't know how she felt about it, but I thought it was hilarious. So, she said, we were thinking about maybe like partnering for that ACT class or whatever. But that kind of fell through. I followed him on Instagram and I saw he had this podcast.
That's right.
And she said, I didn't feel like he was entertaining enough to have a podcast.
Totally fair.
I was like, you know what? I feel that same way. Like
you also don't think I'm entertaining enough.
No, well, I was saying more about me.
Okay.
But I was like, that's exactly what we were going for, really. But then she was like, I checked out some of the clips on Instagram, and she's like, they're pretty good. So she gave it a listen. She's been listening since, and I was like,
wow, that's awesome.
Thanks for coming up and chatting. So shout out to Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for
I'm sorry I didn't. I mean, the name recognition wasn't immediately there.
Well, I feel like that's fair. I don't. I don't think you should immediately know.
I do know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, there you go. Seemed like a nice lady. Yeah. So, anyway, shout out to her, and shout out to the Instagram clips, I guess.
You're shouting out yourself.
I probably should have not stopped doing those, but alas, here we are at the final episode. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we got. Ryan, you said you had a game of sorts.
I did make a little game for you. I don't know, for the audience too, maybe, but it's not exactly. I say game.
Yeah.
It's more like. It's kind of like 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
But it's more just like multiple choice.
Okay. So it's like a test.
It is a test.
This is like a
final exam.
Yeah.
So we were just a little bit early.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it kind of has to do with the early days of our podcast.
Okay.
The idea
Testing the
is
memory.
when we were first thinking of the idea, what's in a podcast? Humor.
Okay.
Could be one segments,
of them. Couple guys,
ideas, co-hosts, 2 funny co-hosts, but
2 people that you wouldn't think would be entertaining.
Yes.
That's a key element.
I've heard that before. But one thing that we really focused on, maybe more than all those other things, was the name.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on that, not so much on the other portions.
Right.
And so my thoughts were, I wanted to test your memory and see what names you remembered that we might have come up with.
Okay.
And what names that I just came up with.
Just right now.
Right. Just a few hours ago.
Okay. I like it.
And so, audience, you can play along as well.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been involved in the name process.
There's only 5 rounds.
Okay. That's more rounds than I was
expecting. It starts off very easy.
Okay.
For you at least.
Okay.
So we'll start off here.
Okay. Is Okay, go ahead.
So round one. All right. So there are 2 actual podcast names.
Okay.
And one that I just made up.
I see where the 2 truths and a lie
2 truths and a
situation
lie.
is. Yeah. So
But it's also just kind of multiple
I'll
choice.
sniff out the lie.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll start off. Okay. Round one. Our first option here. 3 a.m. in the afternoon. No, I'm just kidding. First option. The Lanky Boys.
Okay.
I feel like that's pretty easy.
Yeah. That's the lie.
That's right. Second choice.
Mhm.
Batteries not included.
Okay.
And third choice. Casting the pod.
Oh gosh. Well, okay. The first 2 definitely are ones that we had considered.
Mhm.
Casting the pod, there was something similar. I feel like we had a similar name, but maybe potting the cast or something like that. I don't know.
That one was one I just came up with. I was
Yeah.
kind of going on like casting a fishing rod, like casting the rod,
Okay.
but casting the pod. I don't know why I'm doing doing a motion
I like that
for
you're
you.
justifying this
my,
name that
my fake name.
you just made up. You're like, I think it's pretty
Well,
good.
I say that
actually.
because the other ones I used ChatGPT for,
Oh,
but
okay.
that one I actually came up with myself.
Okay. And I think it's pretty good.
I think it's not terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
so
maybe we'll revisit that one.
we got the first. Yeah.
So yeah, that one's pretty easy.
We'll do this like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'll ask the crowd if I need some help.
Okay. Your lifeline.
Yeah.
All right. Round 2. Also, I labeled this one as easy.
Okay. Good.
First choice. Always fresh, never frozen.
Okay.
Second choice. All the world's a podcast.
Okay.
And third choice. To be young and podcast. These
Okay.
at 2 of those were somehow we actually considered.
I think
Okay.
for context, how many names did we come up with?
We-
Probably like over 50.
Over 50.
Yeah. So we were really stretching the limits there.
We really were. And how many of those were good? Maybe
yeah.
like 5.
Always Fresh, Never Frozen. That one definitely was in there. And I think To Be Young and Podcast was also in there. So I think the middle one.
All the
whole-
world's a podcast.
Yeah.
Is the one. That's right. I typed in
Let's go.
ChatGPT, give me a Shakespearean quote, a short quote from a Shakespeare play that I can insert podcast into.
I like it. That's a great.
The actual quote is "All the world's a stage." If you weren't familiar. Okay. Round 3.
This is just trivia.
I'm teaching a course on Shakespearean plays.
Okay.
Round 3. This one, medium.
Okay.
We're bumping up the difficulty.
Okay.
Okay. First choice. Podcast schmodcast.
Okay. That one's in there. Charlie likes that one.
Okay.
Charlie likes that one.
All right. Second choice. The Pod Squad.
Okay.
And third choice. Top Pod. Again, 2 of those were names we actually
We
considered.
actually thought about.
This one.
There's no way Pod Squad was one that we had because we're just 2 people. How can you have a squad of 2 people?
I mean,
I guess.
I don't know.
Probably
not.
I don't know.
Quad is in the name.
So I'm going number 2. I think I'm going number 2.
The Pod Squad.
Yeah.
You'd be right. We did not
Yeah.
have that one.
Yeah.
Okay. You're doing great so far.
Thank you.
This one, I kind of went for some of the more obscure ones
Yeah.
that we went for,
Good.
the less memorable ones.
Yeah. Bring them out.
Round 4, also medium. First choice. Off the chain.
Okay.
Second. On a podium, but like emphasize the POD.
Okay. Okay. On a podium, you could say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Third choice. Cast half full.
Okay. You shake your head like that wasn't one of the ones.
All right.
What
What do you think?
was the first one again?
First one was off the chain.
Yeah. Okay. The first and the last were the ones that we. So the second one again was the made up
On a podium.
on a podium. Yeah, we definitely didn't. Do
Yeah, that one is that was actually terrible.
I don't know what I don't know what ChatGPT was thinking there.
By the way, no. So ChatGPT just gave like something about being on a podium. I'm the one that came up with like the making the POD into the podcast part.
Right.
All right.
That was me.
That was me. Round 5. Hard.
Wow. Get ready. Buckle up.
It's ear themed.
That was the name of the podcast.
No,
was
but
not-
you'd be surprised. So,
There's
all right.
4 options.
First choice. First choice.
Okay.
Ear to ear.
Okay.
Second choice. Irresistible.
So far, I'm not recognizing either of these.
Third choice. For your ears only.
Okay, that one definitely was in there. I don't recognize either of the first 2, so that's not great. Ear
Okay.
to ear. What would we even? What would we have
I
been
don't know, man.
thinking?
I really don't know.
I don't know. And what was the other one?
Irresistible.
Irresistible. That's too clever for us. That's too clever for us. What do we think? What do we think, folks? I'm using my ask the audience.
He's using his
Of,
lifeline.
of the 2, which
That's ChatGPT.
you think that's ChatGPT?
Yeah,
Ear to
yours
ear
is
is gotta be
bad.
I don't know. Irresistible. I'm not even native. Like it's. No, I think irresistible is too clever for ChatGPT.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
ChatGPT did do that one. Maybe, yeah. I would be really proud of that. Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah.
ChatGPT did come up with the wrong one for this one.
Okay, so like the
It was not me that.
Yeah.
Modify.
Yeah.
I did not modify it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with the crowd. I'm gonna say number 1 is the fake.
Number
to
one, ear to ear is
Yeah.
the fake one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ear to ear is one that we actually consider. Irresistible was
Ear
ChatGPT's.
to ear.
And I was impressed. I was
Yeah,
that was
am
way
too.
better than both of our ear names.
Yeah.
Which
ear to
both
ear.
of you came up with both of them.
Oh,
by the way.
I have no doubts about that. Yeah, we were stretching there. We were stretching.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what I was thinking. For any consolation there, ear to ear. I don't know.
Sure.
What that would even be.
I typed in give me 5 podcast names that use the word ear
Okay.
in the ChatGPT. None of them were ear to ear
Yeah.
for your ears only.
Yeah.
One of them was like into the soundscape of an ear, which was really specific and not really about what our podcast is about. But
I like that. I
anyway,
like that.
that's all 5 rounds. But you did, 4 out of 5.
80%.
Give yourself some credit.
Yeah. I think I
And
probably passed the
80%
class.
Credit to be exact.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, we take that. I should have done better. I should have studied, frankly.
Studied
That's what
up.
I learned.
I only thought of that idea because I had I was searching for a spreadsheet for a class.
Oh,
just
yeah.
scrolling through, and I saw podcast names,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah, we
thought,
did do spreadsheet form
yeah,
for that brainstorming.
three sheets in the spreadsheet, by the way.
Yeah.
All of them not great.
Yeah. We had a whole system going. But well, thank you. I appreciate you
Sure.
bringing that back up. I feel like if nothing else, that kind of lowers the bar for the name that we did
Yeah,
choose.
that's true.
And so
That is true.
going out, I feel like that's a good way to go.
Yeah.
To say, hey, it could have been worse. It could have
Much worse.
It could have been
Much worse.
So I said I had a game, kind of.
You did.
It's not exactly a game.
Okay. That's kind of what I
100%.
said.
But yeah, I don't know. I think what we can do is okay. What I've done is I've compiled a list of events at that could transpire at graduation. I want you to give a % likelihood of that happening.
Okay.
And then maybe we can get the crowd participation of higher or lower of what your
All right.
what your % chance is. This doesn't really
Just
make a lot of
not
sense
really a game.
because right, exactly.
Probability.
That's what I said. Yeah, the
All right.
probability doesn't make a lot of sense because either it's going to happen or it's not. But
Sure.
regardless, it's 50-50 for all these. So these I've kind of ranked them in order of
Likely.
likelihood. Which one of these I'm realizing is very low at this point, but it could still happen. So, decreasing order of likelihood. So most likely up front. First is air horn.
Air horn.
Yeah,
100%.
100% chance.
Always.
We're seeing
Every
He's
every-
got Charlie
under.
saying no.
0%.
Yeah. Say-
Everyone will be very respectful.
Yeah. Exactly.
Be over. That's all I'm saying.
It can't be over, but it
That's
could be a right size. So we got that. Okay. Number 2. Someone hits the gritty on stage.
I mean,
walk us through
if
the
I
thought.
do it, then it's 100%.
That's so true. There are That's the thing is that
Yeah.
you have the power to. Yeah,
I
exactly.
could ace this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
wow. You do the air horn.
Someone hit. I feel like I don't know. I feel like people, their families are gonna be there watching them, but like some families might really love that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go. I think it's less likely than more likely. I'm gonna say 40%.
40%.
40% chance.
How are we feeling? Okay.
Over.
We're seeing
Under.
about.
Devin's in the gritty.
Devin. I would say maybe more people taking the over than under, but we still got some unders in there.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when Ryan hits the gritty.
That's right.
This is just something that I'm curious to see how this is not going to happen. Someone gets the wrong diploma.
100%.
Okay. 100%. Because my understanding is that we get our diplomas on stage.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand how you're
one of
not,
the only universities to do that.
Right. And one of the only universities that I know of that every undergraduate is graduating at once. And so this was more just a concern that I have more than anything.
Yeah. You're just wondering, if you'll actually get yours.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that'd be pretty likely, actually.
Pretty likely. Okay. So you said 100% gut.
I'm going to say 90%.
90%.
90% chance.
And what's the faith in the university looking like?
Less.
Say, okay, people are.
Charlie says up.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know off the diploma or not. My understanding is that they're going to read a name and then they're like someone else is going to hand you the diploma.
I don't think they read it off the diploma.
Yeah. Exactly. It is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It is. All right. So we got some smoke. We got mostly faith in the university though.
Okay.
People think it's not as likely. This is the one that I'm realizing is, well, first off, you have complete power over this.
Awesome.
But also I'm thinking less likely given the information that you just told me not too long ago. Ryan wears the corn suit to graduation.
Would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you know, I did text you earlier. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. I had to pass it to my successor of the Corn Hacks organizing committee.
Yeah.
I could call him up, maybe get it back.
I know,
for
you
just
still have the possibility.
one final ride.
Yeah.
One last encore.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of loses its meaning when you have that many encores.
Right, exactly. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. So yeah, that one's not looking super likely.
20%.
Yeah, we got. Okay, that's pretty good. I like it. We got, people are saying not likely there. All right, we got two more.
Yep.
We got pizza delivery to the field. So this graduation, it's starting at 9, I think, and it'll probably last somewhere like 3 hours. So we're getting into the lunchtime hour. I don't know if that would be how they would get on the field, if that would be allowed or not. Probably not, but still, pizza delivery to the field.
Do you remember? I think this didn't actually happen. It was like a prank, but that Uber Eats guy that went onto the basketball court with like his Uber Eats delivery. I don't remember what game it was. It was a prank. He wasn't actually an Uber Eats delivery guy.
Okay,
but he was trying to deliver food to one of the players.
Okay,
that was like months ago.
Going viral.
I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't be able to get on the field.
Yeah, so that's going to be
how much security are we talking?
Say it depends on how big the tip's going to be.
That's true.
Say, I will give you $100.
He's fighting for that tip.
Yeah, exactly.
Around the square.
Yeah. So not.
I'm gonna say 25%.
25%.
Let's go. 25%.
I like that. I like that. Charlie thinks more likely.
I can.
Yeah. I like that optimism.
I'm ordering the pizza.
Okay. Yeah, and you're delivering it.
That's right.
Yeah, you go out, you deliver it back.
Tipping myself.
Yeah. Maybe someone brings a pizza in under their rope. Hey, who knows? I don't know. Okay, and then the last one that I've got is the new Herbie Husker makes an appearance and turns out to be Ronnie Green underneath.
Wow. The thing is, he's giving the commencement speech.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's pretty unlikely though.
Unfortunate. That one.
I
we
think
also,
Herbie Hustard could still show up,
Yeah.
but it just wouldn't be him.
But think about how great he's on. This is his last year.
That's true.
This is his last graduation.
I'm gonna say 10%.
10%. I like it.
Okay.
A lot of unders. A lot of unders.
I have one for you.
Okay.
Percentage chance that Ronnie Green sings during his commencement speech.
Oh. Okay. Well, we've got a little insider information, but potentially high is what he was telling us. That it definitely could happen. I don't know what song we're thinking, if it's going to be karaoke vibes or what, but I'm looking forward to seeing if that actually happens.
100%.
100%. So you think he's going to?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I was not going to go. 100%.
I heard it might be pre-recorded.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Like he'll give his speech and then he'll sing there'll be a pre-recorded video of him singing after.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm
not sure if that kind of falls
probably
under the
alma mater.
umbrella.
Probably the alma mater. I could see that. But I would also like it if he did a lip sync performance. I think that would be
awesome.
good. Choreographed and everything.
Sure.
Would be ideal, but fair enough. So that's looking pretty high. Well, appreciate that. That's all I've got. That's all I've got for the graduation.
No, that was great.
Kind of a game, not really, but we made it work. Yeah, good stuff. You got anything else big, Ryan?
Anything else big?
Oh, well, we got Q&As.
We do have. That was what I was just about to mention.
Okay.
We had a question.
We got 2 questions.
2 questions. I didn't even see the second one.
We got 2.
What was the second one?
Well, how about we just? No, I don't know which one you saw, frankly.
That's so true. Read out both of them, and I'll tell you which one I didn't see.
Okay. So, well, let's just go.
Okay, we'll go in order.
Yeah, we'll go in order.
Yeah, good idea.
So, okay, Q&A. The question we've got here is from Before Fired Could Catch, is the username.
Mhm.
How do you feel? And I don't know if I'm going to have a great answer to this, but how do you feel about the recent coronation? And if that's too recent or sensitive, how do you feel about the Queen's death?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They're right.
Yeah.
They're right. It is a little too recent, a little too sensitive.
A little too sensitive. So,
I don't know. How about you go first?
So, here's what I'm going to say. I feel like I barely knew that the coronation happened. Really. I mean, here's my kind of idea. I try to detach from the news as much as possible, frankly. And so how do I feel about the coronation? Just finding out that it happened very recently. I mean, I guess it happened very recently. I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't know.
That's all you got?
That's all I've got. I don't have a lot of thoughts.
Did you know that it happened before you read this question?
A little bit, but I feel like I heard people talking about it more. I don't really know what the stances are. I don't know, like, how are people feeling?
Pro coronation, anti coronation.
Right. Yeah, and I don't really have any.
I think the general idea was that it costs a lot of money, and people are not about spending money on the monarchy.
I see. They're kind of on
You could talk about that in your podcast.
I could. That's a little bit past early Christianity.
Yeah, that's probably late to modern.
Right. Yeah. Late to modern. So yeah, I would say, it's okay. I don't know.
Strong feelings.
I mean, I'm not British. Here's the thing. That's really the main part of it.
Was aware. Yeah.
Is that I'm not under the monarchy.
Yeah.
If you believe it or not.
Not anymore.
Right. Yeah. Dating back to 1776.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't really have a dog in this. So I don't have a dog at all.
I don't have a dog. I do not have a dog in this fight.
And so
you don't have that dog either.
Right. I don't have that either, particularly in regards to coronations.
Okay.
So
Queen's death. How about that?
I mean, I don't feel good about it. That's for sure.
That'd be a little messed up.
Right. That's the other thing. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that either, other than I, feel for the family.
Sure.
I mean, how do you feel about this stuff?
I am pretty upset by it.
Really?
No.
Okay. Okay. Good.
But
good.
So
we're on the same page. Basically.
It's a historical event, so I love history.
Okay.
As I think I've told you before. So put that in the history books.
Right.
I guess. I lived through that.
You did. You lived through
Someone
that.
didn't.
Well,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
The
your
King's
great-grandfather.
the King's Coronation. I didn't watch it. I
Yeah.
saw clips on Twitter.
Okay.
There was I saw one clip where like the door of the church was open. I don't know why I'm gonna hand motion for that.
You can picture
I didn't
that.
see it
You
open.
can picture that.
It was open the whole time.
Yeah.
And like a little like Grim Reaper walked by like on the street.
This is a real clip?
It
Or
was
this
the
is-
actual Grim Reaper. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I mean it was a real clip,
Okay.
but it
It
was
wasn't
just some
edited.
dude
Yeah, okay.
like dressed up as, I assume
Sure.
they could have been.
I don't know him.
That is exactly what I'm
Hey.
not telling you.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any claims when I don't have evidence.
Right. There you go.
I mean the video is evidence.
Yeah.
I saw a number that it was like $100 million.
That's quite a lot.
That might be totally wrong. Don't quote me on that.
But you saw a video.
There was I think that number was like there's a golden carriage that's like $100 million.
Oh, okay. So that seems
I don't
they
think-
probably had that
Sure,
before.
yeah. I don't know exactly what the depreciation is on that.
And
what,
it's like if it's $100 million, but someone's got to pay for that, you know.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think-
like you got to find a buyer if you're actually going to sell it off. Who's going to get a golden carriage at this point?
Sure.
I don't know.
Probably no one.
Hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not buying it though. I know
well,
that.
I don't think you could.
Well, yeah, you know me so well. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thoughts. We do have a late stage question from Roach Dog Jr. here, or Roach Dog Jr. I believe is the name. He's a frequent commenter
Mhm.
on the YouTube.
That's right.
He wants to know what was our favorite episode to record.
Our favorite episode to record.
So maybe something a little bit more within our realm
So
of
true. Yeah.
understanding
Something
here.
that we actually have knowledge on.
Yeah.
And yet I still don't really know.
Okay. Good.
I don't know the episode number,
Mhm.
but I think that first episode we did in the study room was really good.
I was gonna say that too. I feel like that
Was
was
that-
a lot of fun to record.
I feel like that was episode like it had a 7 in it. I want to say
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna go 16. But
16. Sure, I was gonna say 17.
yeah. There was I feel like there was a stretch like in the 20s that like we didn't record in the study room every time, but when we did,
It was
I-
actually good.
yeah. I enjoyed it at least. So
Sure.
I think that's probably I'm with you on that.
So go rewatch those.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Exactly. If this is your first, then go elsewhere for that. But yeah, I think that one's up there. Because I'm trying to think of like what are the other ones that stand out to me.
Number 1.
That's a
That
that's a
one
big
was kind of messed up though. I think we messed up the audio.
That's messed
right?
up, man. Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And we kind of split it into 2 parts.
Oh yeah, we re-recorded the introduction to that episode like
Oh, so
at
many
least
times.
5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Because how do you start a podcast? You know, that's what they don't teach you in school.
How do you end one?
Well, yeah, I don't know. We're trying it out, and I think the first step is interrupt an econ final.
Sure.
I think that's what you want to do. But yeah, so yeah, that was good. I think episode 10 we tried out the like Shark Tank.
Oh, that-
pitches.
yeah. That one
Which-
was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think it went very
I
well.
I don't know how people felt about it, but yeah, that was I don't know. I feel like that one sticks out as well.
Mhm.
And then there was we're just going back through all, but the last one that I'll mention is maybe like 26 or something like that, or 20. I don't know. But we got like 2 clips out of it, 2 or 3 clips out of it, and I felt like that one was a good one. So whichever like the most recent clips,
Think I know-
like
yeah,
the Kool-Aid one,
Yeah,
and that one was also a fun one. So
That was a good one.
I don't know the episode numbers though, so that's where we're at. But good question. So stuff. I think the only other thing that I have written down is room temp salmon. Basically, we just had salmon that was sitting on the counter, and I was like, that doesn't seem
That's
good.
disgusting.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be that way apparently.
What?
For this particular salmon, it was like vacuum sealed or something. And
Well, that's a little different, but
well, yeah, but I see a box of salmon. I'm like, what's this doing? Get it in the fridge. Anyway. Yeah, right. Exactly.
I don't like salmon at all. In fact, I think it
Outraged from the crowd.
Yeah, people are very upset by that. I think I might be allergic. So I
Okay.
feel like that's a valid reason to not like it.
Yeah. Well,
I believe we
maybe should have
maybe talked about this.
Yeah,
before.
yeah, we did. But it was pretty
I'm
good.
so sorry.
It tasted like barbecue because it was smoked, but didn't really taste like salmon. Anyway, I think we can call it there for this part of episode 50.
Right.
We're gonna be doing a part 2 over Zoom, kind of going back to our roots there.
Yeah.
After graduation, just kind of wrapping things up there. But this will be an end to the in-person first and last live episode. Thanks everyone for being here.
It went great.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, that was good joke. No, but I appreciate everyone for being here, for supporting the podcast just in general, being good friends of ours and all that. So thanks to you all. Shout out. And that's the end, I guess. Well, shall we?
I see you're only wearing one earbud. Is that a style choice? Is that something the kids are doing these days? What's going on there?
It is a statement piece, yeah.
You're not wearing the extremely uncomfortable headphones that you normally wear.
Right. Well, that was an option. You know, I brought out this earbud the last time. Well, last time I brought out both earbuds. But that was because I had forgotten my headphones at home. But then I kind of liked how they felt. I liked the way I looked, as Men's Warehouse would say. And so I decided, hey, let's pull them out this time. Now, I was like, if there's one thing that is wrong with them, it's too balanced. It's too symmetrical. So I decided to only go with the one. I think it's a little bit of a cooler look, a more nonchalant kind of idea.
Yeah.
But also in a more real sense, the right earbud has stopped working in between last time we recorded and now. And it was kind of throwing me off to have half of like my ear just be off. So I decided to just get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, you look great.
Well, thank you.
I'll say that.
I think it's probably I just want to leave people with a good last impression. I would say, in terms of this is how I want them to remember me, as a guy who's too cool for two earbuds.
Nonchalant. Cool. Only ever wears one earbud.
That's right. Too cool for school, some would say, given that I am no longer in school.
That's right. Crazy to think about. I was thinking about that earlier today.
Yeah? Is it hitting you?
It hit me when I woke up and realized I have nothing that I need to do.
Right. And it's not even like there's nothing that I'm going to do and I'm going to push off responsibilities. It's actually like, I've got no responsibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah. That it's
I did stuff that I haven't done for months. I made breakfast today.
Oh my God. That's what was holding you back, was the responsibility of the school. You're just too busy.
Just the crushing anxiety, the responsibilities that I kept putting off.
Yeah.
With those out of the way, could finally make my own breakfast for once.
That's incredible.
I'm not sure how I felt about it, to be honest, because I don't really eat breakfast that often anyway.
What did you make? What'd you go for?
I made some eggs.
Okay.
Made a little egg sandwich. It was great.
Okay.
You don't. It doesn't seem like you were a big fan of that.
No. No. I was just having trouble picturing what that looked like, and then I think I figured it out. So
okay,
we got it.
The egg is in the sandwich.
It's in between the bread.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
The eggs aren't the buns. No.
Yeah, it's not like a KFC, whatever they do with the chicken on as the buns, and then they've got something in the middle.
That would be insane.
Do they put bread in the middle, or what do they have in the middle?
I am not really sure. I don't really go to KFC.
You don't? You're not a frequenter?
No. I've been to Kentucky.
Okay.
That might be a lie. I don't know if I've actually been. I might have driven through it once.
Okay. So that, that works. That's pretty close. That's at least a third of KFC. So
have you been to either?
KFC? Oh, I think I've been to KFC. I don't really remember it too well. Don't think I've been to Kentucky. Yeah.
Not memorable either.
If I have, it's even less memorable. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I also had breakfast, but I just went with the cereal kind of route personally. A little Frosted Mini Wheats. It's a staple
You
of
make
mine.
it yourself?
I did. I put it together in a way. I was grinding my
Congrats.
own wheat. I was up at 3 a.m. this morning. So,
Yeah.
work harder, not smarter. That's yeah. So yeah, big breakfast boys this week. Well, welcome back to part 2 here. It's good to have you again. You're still listening. I'm gonna stop talking here. Ryan, congratulations on graduating.
Oh,
I should have started with that maybe.
yeah. I didn't know what you were talking about.
on making your own breakfast. Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
know that was a big moment for you.
It was momentous.
Yeah, how was the second half of the last week there for you after our in-person recording session?
Well, nothing much happened.
Yeah.
As you know, I didn't have any finals or anything like that to speak of. I did get some good news from my professors.
Oh.
And it wasn't really news. It was just a grade.
Okay.
On my well, 2 grades. One of them that was long awaited, my website grade, the one with the checkers.
Yeah.
30 out of 30.
Wow. That's incredible. That's
seems
pretty
like
good.
It seems like you couldn't do better, and there was no extra credit, so you actually couldn't.
You couldn't do better. I mean, even if you had implemented checkers, you might have gotten points off, frankly.
That's so true. I'm pretty sure he didn't even look at it, because if he had, he would have noticed an absence of working checkers games. But
yeah,
I'll take it. I didn't email him and said, "Hey, you actually forgot to look," and it doesn't actually work. I also got my cybersecurity grade back.
Nice.
I guess he was feeling nice that day because we did pretty well on that as well, and the
Nice.
report wasn't exactly totally complete when it was turned in, but we did good. So that was nice, a nice little relief.
That is good. I mean, you hear about the senior slide from the students' perspectives, but I think it might also be fair from the professors. They're like, I don't want to have to work with. I want you to be gone. Frankly,
I think you're right.
I don't want to have to work with you again.
Get this guy out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I my early Christianity professor, I think a couple weeks before the semester ended, congratulated me on graduating. So, I don't know if I've gotten my final grade back there, but I'm thinking I should be set.
Sure. It'd be a little weird if you had to come back and have to take back what he said.
Right. Yeah, I know. So that was good news for me then. And yeah, I still don't know entirely how that works because we do have our diplomas. So seems like they can't take that from us. But
I also don't know.
I guess maybe I could check to see if my final grades are in.
I was never in danger of not graduating either, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. This class,
maybe
I don't
that has something to do with it.
Yeah, that is probably fair.
I feel like they make the professors kind of fill out a little form of whether or not they'll pass, like whether or not they think you'll pass.
Yeah.
And then if they think you might not pass, they have to do your grade first. I don't know. That would be my only guess.
I do not know. I do not know. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I heard from my business strategy professor. He was like, yeah, they're making us put in, or like if you see Canvas grades go in, this was like a couple weeks before the end of the semester. That's just me testing out grades because they make us put in the lowest grade we think you'll get, and that kind of determines whether you're good to graduate or not.
Okay.
And so yeah, I think you're right on that. And then I believe the final grades are due at 5 p.m. the Friday before or the day before graduation, is what I heard. Which again, I don't know if I talked about it on here, but I was a little, curious what would happen if I turned in my final project for early Christianity after that, given that it was due at midnight.
Sure.
The night before. But I did turn it in before the deadline. I turned it in on Thursday to get it done, get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pulled out the podcast, and I will say, it was a little bit of a joke because I've got a podcast, and now I'm doing another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, completely different vibes. It's not. Maybe if we had maybe I should have gotten you on here and we just chatted about a certain topic.
Yeah, maybe.
It could have been a little educational thing. You say, I try to teach you something about early Christianity, and
sure.
we go from there.
I generally don't understand what's going on, and then we kind of go back and forth like that.
Right. Exactly. That's
how long was this, by the way? So this episode?
It ended up being about 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, it's short and it's bite size. Okay.
Right.
It needs to be digestible.
That's what you could have called it, bite-sized Bible. I feel like that might be taken, but
I don't think so. I mean, it is now.
Where were these great names earlier? Much earlier.
When we were trying to decide on our podcast.
On our Christianity-themed podcast.
We go for bite-sized Bible. Yeah. Maybe the next podcast we do. Yeah. Bite-sized Bible.
Rebrand. You may want to find someone slightly more qualified.
Well, no, I think we're good. I think we're in a good spot. Now, I mean, the thing that I wasn't really thinking about is that with this podcast, she says, if you're doing that, it needs to be polished. It needs to be professional. And I'm like, hey, I am a professional. All right. But then when I was actually recording it and listening back, so yeah, I didn't super script out what I was going to say.
Sure.
And I was listening to it and I was like, wow, this is rough. I mean, this is when I'm not just talking about things, whatever's on the top of my head, when I need to actually be accurate with things. This was not good. A lot of
were you hedging a lot of what you were saying or what?
Well, not as much that. It was more like I'm trying to pick out the right words. And so it ends up being super choppy like that. And so it was tough to listen to. What I ended up honing my strategy a little bit there. What I would do is I would start recording to do kind of a paragraph or a section. And I would really struggle for the first while. And I would just slowly add on a sentence. I would slowly just figure out a sentence as I go. So at that rate, I probably should have just scripted it out.
It sounds like you were doing sort of an incremental script approach.
Yeah. I decided to
I'm not sure a lot of people do that, but to each their own.
Yeah. So I would record, the first sentence probably 5 or 6 times.
I'm assuming you went into it like you knew what you wanted to talk about, right? It wasn't just like you sat down and 15 minutes do some early Christianity.
Yeah. So I generally knew. I obviously had my
some notes.
I'd read my papers and whatnot that I needed to. Got the citations rolling for that. And then I had a general kind of skeleton. These are the main topics. These are kind of the chapters, if you will, that I wanted to play with. But yeah, outside of that was about as far as I had gotten. And I'd made some notes along with my sources. So I could kind of draw from that. But yeah, so it ended up taking a bit longer than I expected. I think I had told some folks earlier that day, I think I could probably knock it out in an hour or so. And it ended up probably being 3 or 4 hours. Yeah.
You could have had one.
I could have. I could have.
It might not have gone super well for the way you're describing it.
This is I don't get it. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But we did get it done, and presumably we did fine on it. So anyway, I had told the people that earlier that day I was at the honors graduation ceremony.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. Hey, well, I'm about to. yeah, it was a good time. I guess a couple of things on that. For one, definitely thought I thought I read somewhere that it was a dinner. I don't know. I think that this is something that's just happening to me recently, where I just misread the text of what people send. Happened with the Mother's Day kind of meal. I definitely read lunch, definitely said dinner, or like the message actually said dinner. Likewise with this, it just said honors graduation celebration or something like that. Read dinner there as well, which, yeah, I mean, it was from 4:30 to 6, so
It's just prime dinner time right there.
it definitely overlaps. I mean, I will say 4:30 does sound like a pretty early dinner,
Sure.
but I was like, okay,
5:30 though.
that
sounds like it. That sounds like a good dinner.
That sounds like a great dinner.
I mean, I don't know what we're having, but actually, we're having nothing at the honors celebration. But
yeah,
that's normally when I eat dinner. And I'll say I was also expecting some sort of dinner.
Yeah, and I mean, my first insight that wasn't going to be the case. Actually, I think I did read like on the agenda, or they sent a reminder email that said light hors d'oeuvres or something like that, hors devours, and so I was like, okay, so this actually isn't a dinner, which is that's fine. But I still definitely expected tables. I don't know if you expected tables to be there or not. But yeah, walk up the stairs, like, wow, okay, we just got the rows of seating there, no tables in sight. Which that makes it a bit easier because I was rolling up a bit late, I would say, and I was probably about 5 minutes before the event started.
Oh, okay.
And,
that was your late.
That was my
5
late,
minutes
yeah.
before.
And
Okay. Cool.
And so I was like, the tables might be taken, but that's okay. I can sit with some new folks, and yeah, I mean, we'll make some new friends. But yeah, so there was plenty of seating still available. And in fact, there was some seating available for you as well when you showed up.
Yeah, I also showed up a bit late.
Yeah,
about 4 minutes before the event started. So pretty tardy.
pretty.
I showed up about an hour late, I would say. Maybe even later than that.
Yeah,
I would say probably around 5:30.
Something like that.
The thing that I'm confused about is when I showed up, they were kind of recognizing each of the students.
Yeah.
So what exactly were they doing before I showed up?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I can fill you in.
Wasn't that sort of the whole point? And I can't believe that it was taking that long to get through everyone.
Well, so why did you show up then?
Why did I show up?
An hour late. Why didn't you just?
Why didn't I
just not go?
Come on. Oh, not go at all. I was wondering the same thing after I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was entirely worth it to attend after the fact. But I was actually just wondering like what they were doing beforehand.
Right.
Like were there other awards or
There were some other awards. So they started out with a little speech thing from the acting director. So some sort of thespian kind of performance. And then they had an honor student speak. That we went through the little reminiscing.
A little weird if they had a non-honor student do
it. Yeah, like, wow, guys, I'm impressed. I am impressed. Yep. You are better than I am for sure. So congratulations. No, yeah. So they did decide to go with the honors student, which I was glad about.
Yeah, probably a good choice.
But yeah, and then they had some of these specific awards. I can't remember exactly what they were. I think they had kind of a recognition for each kind of college, honor student in each college, and then some other ones as well. So yeah, and then after that, I think is when they got into the names. Which after that was done, I was like, oh, I felt like that was a good kind of place to wrap up. And then they were like, all right, now we're going to call everyone's name. And so I was like, okay, so now I see where this is going to be a longer thing. But I guess that's also kind of the reason to show up to some degree. Anyway, so that was kind of, I think that was about half an hour, and then they had probably maybe not, because it felt like the names went pretty quick, like maybe a half an hour of names. I don't know, maybe not, maybe that's not the case.
Well, you told me that when I showed up, they had just, I assume they had just gone through the H's.
They just hit the H's, yeah.
Just because you said you just missed your name. When I'm surprised that I found you guys, to be honest. I walked in, I was looking where to sit, and I see my good friend Nathan Gentry and some of our other buddies just sort of sitting. There was a seat right next to you, an open seat right next to you. I assume it was open. Saved a spot just for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And told me that I had just missed my name, which I really wasn't all that upset about, because I didn't really know what was happening.
Right.
I'd also like to mention that I never checked in.
Right.
So because some of you were wearing a name tag, right? I think.
Yeah. That was part of the thing. Yeah, they had a check-in process. They also waited, so they got started probably 5 to 10 minutes late, because they were like, we want to wait for people to show up here.
Oh, okay. that was really kind of them to do that.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we still have a few people that haven't checked in, and so we just want to wait. And
they're sort of, they postponed for about an hour. We're just waiting on one more person.
Yeah, one more. If anyone knows Ryan Ruby,
if anyone could send him a message, that would be great, because we would like to get started pretty soon here.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious why they did that. I was wondering why they were waiting.
Punishing the people that showed up on time. Showed up on time.
No, yeah, I mean, I was wondering why they didn't just get started, because you can show up whenever. But then I realized that they were going to call everyone's names, and I was like, okay, that kind of makes more sense. Because then what they tried to do is, for the people that weren't checked in, that hadn't showed up, they tried to skip past them in the slide deck. And
I did see a bit of that going on.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Overall, I think the organizational structure there could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
This is a PowerPoint, I assume, so you could always, delete the slides that aren't gonna of the students that aren't going to be in attendance, or maybe just move them to the end, because really it's just sort of them saying one name and then skipping over like 3 people like really quickly. So we can still all see the slide and all the photos. It's just really fast.
Yeah.
And then until they get to the next person, or they're skipping back and forth because they went too far, and we're all just sort of watching as bystanders as this is going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a couple people where they didn't have a slide for them.
Yeah.
And so on one of them,
he's
they
going
were
back
like
and forth. He really can't find it.
Exactly. And eventually he just put
Somebody
it on.
help this man.
Yeah. Anna,
I think
Anna
he put it on
the
closest sounding name.
Yeah, exactly. For one of them, Anna was not able to make it. And so they tried skipping past, but then they couldn't find the person. So they just went back and showed her slide while they were announcing someone else. And so it kind of served a dual purpose there. They were able to get a couple people going. But anyway, so you were one of the people that skipped by.
That's right. Although apparently, as was told to me, is that there was a rapturous laughter as they skipped over my slide for a mere few seconds.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. I didn't hear it because I wasn't there yet.
Because you weren't there, yeah. But yes, there was. I think just the general, sure. You're a funny guy, so
yeah, funny looking,
right?
So exactly. Saw my photo. So I wish that had been enough for you guys, but you never quit, you never settle. And so
I don't know why you're lumping me into this, the you guys.
So we get to the end of the names, and I'm thinking, this was all in all a waste of time, but I think I prefer the version where my name wasn't called, or that at least when I wasn't here for it. But no, they disagree. So they asked, did we miss anyone?
Yeah.
And surely I'm thinking that there are other people that were missed.
Yeah.
And
There's got to be at least a couple.
Yeah. And I don't think there were. Were there any other people that like stood up?
No,
or
no.
or were even recommended? No.
No one was. No one stood out as saying this person was skipped or anything.
Yeah. No one else. Here's what happened. Basically, I am lumping you in with it. You and your associates. Basically, all of our friends from the reg school were all sort of. It's very campy. You all sort of sat together. We're all started shouting, "You missed Ryan!"
No,
that is exactly what happened.
No, it is not. No, it is not at all.
That is what happened. Charlie, I vividly remember Charlie saying, "You missed Ryan Ruby."
I don't remember that at all. I don't think that's how it went at all. I like that. We've got these two separate storylines.
That's part of what happened. That is part of what happened.
What I saw, my experience was Jacob Schlange, who's the organizer, said you missed Ryan Ruby.
He did also say that,
and that was got to be the first one.
That he was. I would say they happened at equal points in time.
I don't know, but regardless, I don't think that we're to blame for sure.
You don't think you guys shouted my name at all? Are you saying that?
Well, I definitely don't. I mean, I personally did not. I also don't think it impacted whether or not they went back to you, because I think Jacob was going to do it anyway.
I think he would have, but I think absent
Jacob,
of what Jacob.
I'm not on a first name. I don't know if I've ever spoken to Mr. Schlange. I don't know.
I have spoken to him before, so I would assume that's why he remembered me.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, I never checked in.
Yeah,
so he must have just seen me walk by in the middle of the ceremony and made a mental note to remember. Wow. Well, this is some revisionist history, because it happened to me. I think I would know. I think I would know what happened.
I don't know. It seems like you were maybe caught up in the moment and maybe looking for people to blame. And I don't know. I really don't think that we impacted what happened next, which was them scrolling back through all the slides.
Going all the way back to my slide, asking me to stand up.
I will say what happened was, they had said, make sure you hold your applause until the end. And we did break out into applause when
do exactly that
for just you. When they started announcing your name. So you were the only one to get individual applause.
Kind of what you were talking about last episode with you want to be last.
Right. Actually, it was during
very loud applause
past episode, but you put that into action real quick the next day, you could say.
That's right.
So it was very smart from you. But yeah, so they did announce you, have you stand up, say, "Oh, Ryan showed up late. Here he is." And it was frankly a great end to the event. That made it worth it for me to show up, I would say. So
I'm glad I made it worth it for you. It, in all, I would say was not worth it.
Yeah, I would generally agree with that. We did get the honors cords for the graduation.
Yes.
Which, can I just say, was not really expecting what we ended up getting. I'm used to cords being, around the neck. Well, more like draped over the shoulders. I don't know. This was just a one shoulder kind of vibe. And I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So it was kind of an interesting style decision from them. I don't know.
I'm not really sure what was going on there. I also would like to say that their phrase for remembering how to wear it was, in my opinion, not the best phrase to use.
Okay.
This is what was told. I missed it also. I assume they said this during the ceremony. But so it's like a red and white cord.
Uh-huh.
and it goes on your right shoulder with the white facing outward, right?
Yeah.
Toward the right. And so their phrase for for remembering it was white is on the right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like you're kind of treading into some controversial territory there with what you're saying.
One
think
game
you-
of telephone there, and you're just saying white is right, and
not exactly what you want.
That's not what you want
The message you want to be sending. So I thought that was interesting. I also had a great time trying to put that on, and when I say that, I mean I just had someone else do it because it seemed impossible to do by myself.
Yeah, it's definitely a two-person endeavor. Yeah, I also don't know how much it really mattered what side the white was on, frankly. I mean, I don't know if I would have noticed, frankly.
Okay.
But, at least we were all kind of matching, presumably. So anyway, good chord struggles there. Anyway, so that was Thursday. On Friday, I had another kind of event. This one was a dinner of sorts. It was just a regular dinner. I don't know. There was no sorts. Anyway, this was a dinner for the rake school. We had it at the Talon Room once again, where the internal celebration was
of course
this year, last year, all that thing. Couple things. First off, had much better luck with the silverware, with the plates. They did not take it away from me, which I appreciated. Part of that was I did have my parents say, hey, I'm going to go get some more, but can you please watch this and make sure they don't take it. But anyway, so yeah, my parents had come in and had all the parents there and whatnot, and it was good. They had a little mini procession. Well, that I don't know. They said everyone's names and you
procession.
Came up and got a little certificate.
That kind of does sound like a procession.
It kind of does, but sure, we'll say it. But yeah, so I had that and had not too much going on. We had this senior video where it was kind of just speaking about memories and giving compliments and whatnot, roasting people and all that.
Did you help make that at all?
I mean, I recorded a portion of it, but I didn't record actually.
I thought maybe as the social media person that might have fallen under your responsibilities or something.
That would make sense. I was too busy skirting my social media responsibilities in general. I realized that I had totally forgotten about basically the one thing I had left to do for that until the day before graduation, basically. So got that done. But anyway, yeah. So had that. It was like a 40-minute video, which sounds like a lot.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. But then you think about, they had a section for each person and there's 34 people. So it's there's only so short that you can make this thing. But I believe there's an somewhat edited, 3-hour version.
Oh my gosh.
That'll be coming out. So
it's the deep cut.
Yeah, hitting theaters near you.
The Zack Snyder version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it will be rivaling. I think it could be a box office hit. So anyway, got that to look forward to. But the dinner was nice. They gave us a little bag of sorts. They definitely had some. Yeah, well, not not for eating, but just a take home thing. Well, yeah, whatever.
They gave you a gift bag.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And
what did you have for dinner?
So they had this was not a nacho bar, which was good because I didn't need to pick up chips beforehand or anything. They just had some assorted meats and some assorted vegetables. Like a dinner goes. Yeah, nothing. I mean, it was very good. It was tasty, but nothing too much to speak on there. No barbecue jackfruit or anything. So
no standouts.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, I not too much else there. That was pretty much the Friday, day before, day before graduation. I feel like Thursday, Friday was when it started kind of setting in for me in terms of like we're about to be done with this thing.
About to be out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So bittersweet feelings there, but sad to see it go. But gotta move on.
I think
So
you're going.
I'm going.
You're the one that's going. You said sad to see it go.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, I stay pretty constant. It's my environment that moves around me.
Yep.
So that's mostly how I think
center
of
of the universe.
Yeah, I am. You've heard of the heliocentric. I'm more of a Nathan-centric.
Gentrocentric.
Gentrocentric. That's right. But
yep.
Anyway, then there's graduation. So had that Saturday morning.
When did you wake up?
I woke up. When did I wake up? Probably 6:30 or 6, something in there. Because I showered the day of, which might have ended up being a mistake because I had probably the worst case of hat hair I had ever had in my life. It was really brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Partially because the hat keeps like slipping off, and so then I just push it back down and comes back up, and so I ended up having just folds in my hair left and right, which became an issue for pictures, but that's okay. Anyway, so I showered the morning of, but yeah, I really thought I was going to have plenty of time. Ended up not. I mean, I left my room probably at like 7:30, which I had kind of planned on doing because I wasn't sure how long check-in was going to take. But anyway, yeah, I was running right up against that time there. Really? But yeah. Anyway, you did make it on time.
I did. So, I figured I probably should.
Yeah.
And I woke up at about 6 a.m.
Okay.
I also showered that morning.
Mm-hmm.
The hat hair was not great on my end either.
Yeah.
Mostly because I opted for sort of a gel base in the hair. And that does not mix well with a hat that you'll be wearing for like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we left my house, and by we I mean me. I left my house at about like 7:40 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of close.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think the thing I was worried most about was where I was going to park on campus.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally that is actually a problem. But today, of all days, there was ample parking. There were plenty of spots in sight. In fact, I think I could have parked even closer to the Hawks Championship Center where the check-in was.
Mm-hmm.
I actually parked sort of by the Outdoor Adventure Center because I saw there were a ton of open spots there. But I think as I was walking, I was like, oh, there's a spot that I could have gone there. Oh, another one.
Definitely not as busy as you would think.
Yeah. But we made it on time. We made it probably around like 8.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's too late. Now that I'm saying that, I feel like I was there maybe at 7:45.
Okay.
Not sure. But regardless, we made it on time.
Mm-hmm.
It was during that time that someone helped me put on my honors cord and my tassel and all of this other regalia, because that had not been done yet by the time that I arrived for the check-in.
Yeah.
And also I'm getting these things from the check-in that I'm also supposed to wear, these medals. I'm not really sure, is there a set order for these things? Am I going stole first, medal next? I don't know. I was definitely not really sure what was going on at that point in time. But then you finish checking in and you go out to Memorial Field. It's not even called Memorial Field, right? It has an actual name, but I'm not sure what it is. And you're not starting for another 45 minutes at the least, right?
Yeah.
everyone's sort of just milling around. It seems like it's post graduation, right?
Right.
Because no one's in their seat. We're all just sort of walking around, finding people, talking like we're already celebrating.
Mhm.
It would be crazy if they like canceled it then.
Yeah, they pick out
because-
people from the crowd, so you're actually not graduating. You
Yeah.
gotta go.
I actually did find you, which
Yeah.
was totally by accident, but I guess not totally unexpected either, since we were sort of in the same general location.
Yeah.
For where our seats were. But you were kind of up front, taking some photos with your friends.
Mhm.
Also, maybe my friends. I don't know. I'll ask them. I'll ask them later. But I was sort of in the back for a majority of the time, majority of the pre-ceremony time, taking some photos as well.
Yeah, I mean, it really was a good time to do it, and probably should have taken more advantage of that, honestly. But
Mhm.
anyway, yeah, it was a good time. You know, they had the music bumping, they had the MC, you know, getting the people going and whatnot. Yeah, it was I think it was when we got onto the field that I started thinking, okay, how is this going to work exactly? You know, because they've got 3 different stages. And so we're thinking, hey, maybe, you know, maybe they're going to have some sort of halftime performance. You know, they're going to have,
Sure.
I heard Lizzo was performing in Omaha the night before. So maybe she would come in.
Yeah, surprise
do
appearance.
One of the stages.
Perhaps
yeah,
you kind of walk across all 3 as you go, just to
yeah,
get some maximum on-screen time. I don't
that'd be
know.
exciting. No, yeah, I think that's a great idea. But yeah, we ran into one of our professors and she was like, yeah, they've got 4 lines going at once. You know, it's a real kind of event.
Very
I'm like,
streamlined.
okay. Yeah. And so at this point, I guess, did you, going into the thing, did you think that they were going to say everyone's names?
I did not. I knew
You
that
did
they
not.
weren't going to.
Okay. Well, I did not have that knowledge. I assumed that they would be, which looking back.
Well, normally they do.
Oh,
Not normally here, but
Oh,
normally other places they do.
right. Right. Yeah, exactly. I didn't, my thought was, if they're not calling people's names, what are we even doing here? You know? Which, you know, they do hand out the actual diplomas. So that was, you know, that's an answer to that question. But still, it seems like that's the main thing with the graduation, at least in my eyes. So anyway, yeah, we were kind of starting to figure that out. I think I was like, well, maybe they'll just say, you know, they have people lined up so that they can say names more quickly. But I mean, it does kind of make sense after the fact. Looking at, they've got like 2,600 people graduating at once, basically. And that's going to take a long time to say everyone's names there.
Definitely.
Given that in the end, I think it probably took an hour and a half for everyone to just walk.
Yeah.
To just go up there and get their diploma and leave with just some orchestral music going on in the back. It would have taken probably 3 times that amount of time.
Definitely.
To get that going. Which is good that they didn't do that, both for just sanity sake.
Yes, for
but
sure.
Also for my skin's sake.
Definitely.
You know, you can probably see this already, but you know, I got a little redness going on here, particularly on the nose. You know, you're looking straight into the sun.
Did you apply any sunscreen beforehand, or was
You know,
that
I
sort
didn't.
of an afterthought?
I considered, and then I realized, I took home my sunscreen last weekend.
Why would you do that?
Well, you know, I was trying to ease the.
If there's
packing
one
load.
thing I need to take home right now, it's my sunscreen.
Facial moisturizer mix thing.
Sure. I think I have that too.
I was like, I never put this on anyway, so
Okay.
I'm just going to take it home.
There you go.
And then I was like, I could go for that now. You know, I thought about that before I left. I was like, don't think I have it here. So,
well, I did apply some sunscreen. It was basically a moisturizing lotion / sunscreen mixture.
Yeah.
And I still did get a bit sunburnt on the old face because I think it's only like 30 SPF, maybe less. Yeah. And so the unfortunate thing is with the cap, you're creating a visible dividing line on your forehead of sun versus no sun. The other really unfortunate thing is that the caps and gowns are all black except for like some red trim. So it's getting a little warm. I think while I was walking like to the check-in, I was like, it's a little chilly out. Like maybe 45 degrees. I wish it was 45 degrees the entire time, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I wore a full suit under because I was like, it's 45. It's only going to get up to 55 by the time we're out of here. So might as well. And I didn't have a huge issue with it. Like I was warm, but I wasn't like sweating really. But yeah, it definitely heated up quite a bit. You get the sun going. Yeah. My face heated up at least.
Sure.
But yeah, you've heard of the farmer's tan. Got the graduate's tan. We got
that's right
for the camera there.
Good old graduation tan.
Offset.
Mine's kind of faded by now. I'm not sure. I think the sunscreen did do most of its job.
It did
at least
work.
At least on the face. That was the only place I applied sunscreen though, and I mean that was really the only exposed part of my body besides maybe my ears. And also my hands,
right?
Which did get quite a bit of sun. Yeah. Back, just the backs of my hands. You can't really see it that well, but I left the ceremony taking off, my cap and gown and everything. Just like, man, my hands kind of hurt. I'm not really sure why. Oh, they're very red. They're very red.
Go big red.
Not really something you think about much, putting sunscreen on the back of your hands.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was that is the thing that the regalia helps out with. It's kind of a natural sunscreen, but then it does leave a few, just 2 areas exposed, really.
Yes. Yeah. 2 of the most vulnerable areas. Really.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sun was, it was hitting for sure. And I think it got quite a few folks in the stands, my family included. But anyway, yeah, so we showed up. We were figuring this out. Not going to call the names. In kind of the first, kind of the pre-graduation, pre-ceremony vibe, they did do something which kind of, I don't know, we were having a laugh at, which they were like, we're going to, folks, in just a minute, we're going to be playing the national anthem. But this is not the real national anthem. Okay, so don't don't stand up. Don't feel free to do it. You don't need to do any of that.
It's just
stuff.
A test.
This is just a test. This is just a test national anthem.
Yeah,
which I love the idea of.
No, it is still the national anthem.
It is still, but yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So don't worry, guys. This isn't the real thing. Okay, it's like, why couldn't we have just chosen any other song to do that with?
To do a test, yeah.
But I do, because I thought they were just going to be playing it over the speakers. And I was like, the speakers sound like they're working great just now. So I don't know why we need to do that. But I did realize once they started doing it that they had kind of a little choir there. So they needed to check like feedback on the mic and stuff like that, which they did have a little bit of. So I guess good thing that they didn't do the real national anthem until later. But yeah, we did enjoy hearing about that. Now, as far as the ceremony itself goes, first off, when they did start up, they kind of played the tunnel walk music, and I was ready for them to just do that. I was getting excited, frankly. First of all, they turned up the speakers to an 11, just when no one was listening. They turned them off, and then they definitely amped up the volume, and so we got blasted.
I mean, we did. Yeah. I don't know exactly which sort of section at the front you were in, but I was directly there was a speaker directly in front of us.
Yeah,
and they're playing right before the tunnel walk. They're playing some sort of dubstep EDM, and it is just bass. Like the bass is just booming,
Yeah,
right into my
definitely feel it.
face, and I'm feeling it in my heart for some reason, which I don't think is healthy at all. But that was awful, and it wasn't even good dubstep either.
It's like it feels like some sort of medical imaging where it's like sonar.
Yeah, I don't know they're doing.
You can see inside of your body with the music.
That was not great. I think everyone in my section sort of just looked around like, are we being for real right now? Can we cut this out really quick? And then it transitioned to the tunnel walk, which we're kind of expecting the football team to rush onto the field at this point. But yeah, that was not great.
That amped me up quite a bit, I gotta say.
I did like the actual national anthem. It was UNL jazz singers, I believe.
I feel like it was one of the best I've heard, actually.
Yeah,
like, it was really good.
It was good.
But anyway, yeah. So they get going. But now I feel like we can kind of revisit some of the predictions that were made in the first part of the episode.
Let's do that.
Which honestly, I don't even remember everything that I said, to be completely honest.
I apparently can't even remember what we talked about at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'll be much help there.
But anyway, I guess kind of just going through chronologically, we kind of had some speakers going on. Mm-hmm. I did like, so yeah, Chancellor Green did give the keynote address. And one of my favorite parts of that is he does most of the talking anyway, leading up to like in this first part of the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then he hands it off to the president for him to subsequently hand it back to Ronnie and like introduce him basically. So he introduced his introduction, which I thought was quite good. And then he got back up there. But anyway, like you had said, he did sing.
Gave a little song.
He did bring out the vocals. It was pre-recorded. Big vibrato energy. And yeah, it was quite good. I had not heard the song before, but apparently
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the highlights of an otherwise dull 2.5 hours. So I was sort of just replaying that moment, that minute and a half in my head as 2.5 hours went by, because not a lot to do after that moment.
That is what got you through.
Across. Yeah, that is what got me through. Yes.
So anyway, so that was 100%.
That did happen
there.
I did have a bit of foreknowledge,
right,
on that one.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's sort of fixing the bet or what, but he did tell me in advance that he was going to sing.
Yeah, so it was great. Excellent. Enjoyable. The another thing, it was listed at, I think you gave it 100% chance of happening, the air horn.
Yes,
that did 100%. Happen many times
multiple
over.
Times.
Many times over. But that was expected. Course. We anticipated that coming.
Yes.
Now there were some things that didn't happen. Ronnie did not dress up as the new Herbie Husker.
No, he did not.
Which was unfortunate. I was looking forward to that.
The new Herbie Husker was there.
Yeah, but unfortunately not.
I'm fairly certain it was not him.
Not Ronnie.
Would have had to kind of be in two places at once.
Yeah, unfortunately. Also, no pizza deliveries.
No pizza delivery.
None of that.
Although that would have been awesome, because I did not eat breakfast beforehand, so I was getting a bit peckish on the field.
Yeah, a bit peckish. I know. Yes. Before the ceremony even started, I was like, man, I should have had breakfast. I was planning on having a granola bar before, but I forgot. So missed out
pizza.
There.
What else did we?
No corn soup from what I saw.
No corn soup. No, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
But again, that might have been. Actually, that would have been very warm. Now that I think about it, that would have been incredibly, incredibly hot.
Highly insulating. Yeah.
Yes, that would not have been good.
Yeah. Maybe if it had stayed 45 degrees, that would have been good, or even lower.
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So that did not happen. What I did hear, I didn't see this happen, but I heard reports that someone did hit the gritty.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that was one of them.
Yeah, Zach texted me and he said the guy next to me just said he saw someone hit the gritty. So that's incredible.
That's awesome.
Frankly, glad to see that one paid off. I can't remember if there were any more, but I think those were maybe the only two that
one of them
came to fruition.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. Is if anyone got the wrong diploma.
Oh yeah, hard to say.
And
I did not.
I got all mine, so and they belong to me at least.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about everyone else, but
yeah, but it seemed like they had a decent kind of.
They did have a good system in place. Yeah. If I had known the system, I think I would have made the probability even lower.
Yeah, I agree. I think they performed well there. They really got things going, zipping along. So yeah, shout out to the planners for that. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a different graduation than the ones that I'd been to in the past. I thought it was. I don't know. I
the only graduation that I've had. I mean, besides my high school graduation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I never graduated high school.
They don't know about that.
I don't even remember though. I mean, I'm trying to think about it. I don't even remember how it worked. I think we just walked across the stage and they said our names.
Yeah.
But there were quite a fewer number of people.
Right.
Yeah, I would say also the only college graduation I've ever been to, I think.
Okay.
So
yeah, I had been to my siblings' graduations. I'd just been to one the previous weekend. And generally, like how those seem to go is they get a smaller collection. So like my siblings graduated with their college specifically rather than with their whole university. So
yeah,
that kind of enables them to read out the names because it's such a fewer number of people. So anyway, I had kind of had that in the expectations, but I feel like I was a little, I don't know. I feel like it went better than I expected, I guess. I think, I guess it kind of depends on, well, no, I think it just went better than expected, period. I guess I'll say that. But yeah, I really didn't mind that my name wasn't called. I feel like that would have been a bit excessive. I don't know.
I didn't mind either. So, my name was already called at the honors.
At the Thursday night, yeah,
honor
you got
celebration.
Plenty of recognition.
Yeah, I got all my applause out of the way early.
Yeah. But anyway, and then I guess finishing off the graduation, they had a nice little fireworks display.
They did. I'm not sure anyone told Chancellor Green exactly how many fireworks they'd be lighting off because he didn't seem to know.
Yeah, they had quite a few going.
They just kept going.
They really just kept going. They weren't really, squished together. They had kind of spacing in between each one.
Yep.
And so every time you're wondering, that's probably it.
And
that's exactly what
got the hands ready for it.
What he voiced. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think that's it. And immediately after that,
yep,
this massive
another round
barrage. Yeah. It was quite a few. I'm guessing that just has to do with us having less touchdowns this past season. We had some extra leftovers.
Definitely.
But yeah, so we had quite a few.
I think they kind of took the go big or go home and changed it to go big and go home.
Go big, go home, get out of here. That kind of idea.
Go big grad.
It was kind of a deal, obviously we're in the daytime, so couldn't see much of it, but you could see the smoke. Them. You definitely heard them. And you can't take that away from them. So, but it was kind of a nice, I would say, comedic ending to the graduation. I was laughing. I'll say that. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Wrap up there. So anyway, that's a wrap on college. Frankly, I don't know.
Wrap it up. Send it off.
Did you do any sort of grad party at all with the fam? Lunch afterwards? Anything?
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call it a party, but
Yeah.
we did get lunch.
Okay.
We actually went to a favorite spot of yours, the Rodizio Grill.
Hey, there we go.
That's right.
Yes. Did they have chicken hearts on the menu?
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So they did have chicken hearts.
Okay.
And they weren't actually coming around to our table, or at least hadn't made it yet. So my dad actually pulled the waiter aside and said, "Can we get the chicken hearts over here?" Because he has had them before.
Oh.
He's actually had them at home.
Oh my god.
Apparently, yeah. When he was younger, he comes from a big family.
Sure.
He has a lot of
siblings. Use the whole chicken.
So
yeah.
His mother would make like 3 chickens at a time for dinner, and then they would have 3 hearts, and they would sort of fight over who gets the chicken heart, which is awesome. So he really wanted to. He obviously heard the episode where we were talking about this, and he wanted to try the chicken hearts as well, the Rodizio variety. And I did not try them, which, just based off of what you had said, and also what my father ended up saying, I think was the right choice. Apparently, they were not as good as he remembered.
Oh no, not worth fighting over.
Yeah, they were not made the way that his mom used to make them. Which, you know, can you blame Rodizio for that? I don't think you can.
No one does it like
that's
like
right,
Mama Ruby. That's
right. But I think he shared the sentiment of rather chewy heart.
Yeah.
And
not what you look for in a heart.
Was not a fan.
For sure.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it was good. It's a nice sort of.
Yeah, you'd been there before, right?
Yeah, it was not my first time.
Not your first Rodizio.
Yes.
Experience.
But it was good. How about you? Did you have a little party at a restaurant?
Well, so yeah, of sorts. Yeah, we were at probably a similar kind of caliber establishment. In that I had picked up some subs the day before from Jersey Mike's.
Okay.
And we ate them in the study room, where we typically would record the podcast. So
awesome.
Kind of a nice little memory there.
Jersey Mike's is pretty good in my opinion.
It is. So. It is. It was my first time having it. Yeah, they're my Adam and Shelby's kind of subs place of choice. And I was like, that sounds great. I want to try them. Now, granted, that's probably not the best first impression, you know, just having day old subs. But regardless, it was pretty good. I was a little worried because I got it what they call Mike's Way, which has olive oil and vinegar and stuff on there. And I was worried about the bread getting real soggy, but it did pretty well. Did pretty well for itself.
Awesome.
Really held up.
I don't know that I've ever had it Mike's Way.
You've only had it Ryan's Way.
Yep.
Okay.
My way or the highway.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I say.
That's how to do it. So yeah, it was pretty good. Had the old classic Italian. But yeah, and then substituted maybe, I don't know. We added on some like chips and we got some fruit. We were trying to use up some of the dining dollars and the meal swipes that I had left over from the semester. So hit up the C-store for that. And then got some brownies that my parents had brought up. So all in all, pretty solid, dinner. And yeah, you know, no wait time. No reservations were made for the study room or anything. So that was good.
Sometimes there is someone in there.
Yeah,
that'd be a nice kind of knock on the door. Hey, are you going to be done in here? Just
yeah.
I did make a reservation for.
I got a 12:30 here for 7.
Yes.
So
yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was a good time. Good way to celebrate the ceremony. Had also met up with some friends and taken some pictures right before that. So got that going. Got the memories made there. And then after that was really just working on packing up because I had done little to none of that, and I had to be out by 5 p.m. of the dorms.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
really had to get going there.
Well, thankfully you had already sent away your lotion, your
right.
sunscreen. So
I honestly, if I hadn't done that, I don't know if I
you
would have made it.
we're cutting it pretty close.
But yeah, worked on that. It was pretty solid. I don't know. I don't know if that's how most people describe moving, but yeah, we got it done. We got out by 5. Said goodbye to the friends and whatnot. So sentimental moments there for sure. But anyway, my internet connection is unstable, so that's unfortunate.
I see that.
But anyway, yeah. So we got moved out. Sad times, but yeah, sad times. I don't know, but it is good to move on to the next stage. That's
right.
life. That's life, Ryan.
Move on.
Ryan, you've got to accept it, Ryan.
To the next stage.
Yeah.
Back to your parents' house, I assume, is where you're at right now.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I did not get an apartment that looks exactly like the recording setup.
That'd be crazy.
That would be incredible. Gotta keep, for continuity's sake, we gotta make sure that
naturally
that the background is the same as other Zoom backgrounds. But anyway, so yeah, we are adjusting to life back here. Yeah, I'm gonna be staying with my parents for at least a while, and then I'll probably be finding an apartment here in the next couple months or so. We'll see, because I need to try out going to work. I start work on June 5th, so got 2 weeks off basically, and then starting up. But if I find that I like going to the office quite a bit, then I'm probably going to try to find a place closer over there.
Sure.
Just so I don't I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
cut down on the commute. I respect
exactly. That. Right now we're looking at about 35 minutes one way. So
dang.
Could use with the shortening. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, in the meantime, trying to get my cooking skills up, or at least, get some meal prep going. Have not started that, but I have started researching that.
Nice. So that's the first step.
That's most of what I was doing today and last night. And frankly, it's a little bit overwhelming. So
I've got a head start on you, apparently. I made breakfast, like I said. So
yeah, exactly.
That's what I did.
Yeah. You're getting ahead of me there. But anyway, we'll get that figured out. Presumably. But I was researching that instead of unpacking. So right now my room is just kind of a mess with stuff all on the floor and whatnot. So I'll need to get that going. But anyway, yeah, we're settling into the break here. So anyway, any big happenings for you post Rodizio? You're still in the apartment that you've been in here for the semester, so no move out or anything.
Yes. If by apartment you mean home, then yes.
Sure. Yes, that is exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I'm still here for the time being, at least. We will see where I end up, but I'll see. I won't be letting you know or anyone else listening for that matter. But yeah, for the time being, at least we'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if anything else happened on Sunday. No, I don't think so. On Monday,
made breakfast.
No, I made breakfast. I went to the gym. That wasn't really a big event, but I did do that. Fun. So
making gains.
We'll mark that as a win. Putting
those eggs to work.
That's right.
Yeah. One thing that I did forget about on Sunday was that it was a tough day for the grip strength. No, not Sunday. Really? Saturday. Yeah, on the move out process. Had 2 instances within about 2 hours. I was really struggling there. And so maybe I need to get into the gym.
So you would say that grip strength is really important?
It's really important. I get maybe. I don't know.
You would say it's at least important in that scenario.
For sure. I could have used some.
Awesome. Great. I just need you on record to say that, because I know some people that have been they've been saying negative things about my grip strength. I have these little kind of grip strength exercisers. Yeah, I don't know what you would call
like
them.
hand clamp things.
Yeah, literally that. And some people were making fun of me for that. I think that's uncalled for because grip strength can be pretty important.
Yeah, no, I'll support you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
They say you're only as strong as what you can hold. So
I would say one of the main reasons to get strong is to be able to hold things. So
yeah. I'll give you some other reasons here. One is opening up the oil cap for your engine as you're trying to add more oil to there.
Okay. Sure.
That's going to be a pretty big one.
Yeah.
My car has kind of had this chronic slow oil leak. Maybe it's not a leak. I don't know. It just runs out of oil relatively quickly. So that makes you think. But anyway, we've kind of been putting off dealing with it. Mm-hmm. But it'll kind of hit me with the oil light here and there. And I'm like, I've got a long journey ahead of me. I'm going to be driving in the night. So maybe I don't want to get stranded on the side of the road. So I'll add some oil before I get going here. Because it was below the recommended level. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But then I was struggling to get the cap off. So we, luckily, there was a policeman who was walking by.
Really?
Yeah, it was incredible. So yeah, he was like, hey, you need any help? I was like, actually, I said, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to get this, but it's on there.
I loosened it up for you. I loosened it.
Exactly. No, he got it right away. One thing that I will say that was maybe working against me is I think I was going in the wrong direction.
Well, that would really, really impede any effort to open up the cap there.
Yeah. I mean, I tried it both ways, but since I wasn't really making progress either way, I didn't have feedback as to
evidently
if I was going the right direction.
Trying hard enough.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. As I recalled to you, as I was working through one time after we stopped recording, and I noted that righty wasn't a name, but Lucy was. And then I realized that it's not L-U-C-Y.
It's not exactly.
It's L-O-O-S-E-Y. But anyway, so that doesn't really register for me. And so I think I was going in the wrong direction. Anyway, so he got that off for me. That was great. That was incredible. Did add some oil and did not have any issues going home. Except when I got to the gas station to fill up, and I go pull up to the pump, and first off, I'm having issues reading the instructions, so that's not great. But I get the payment method going, and then I, select the gas that I want, and I put it in, and it's locked up. The pump is locked up, so I can't fill up. And I'm looking around, and there's no one else at the pump, and I'm seeing that they're like refilling the station, like they've got the big tanker filling up oil. So I was like, okay, maybe I am not able to get gas at the moment. Like maybe they have to finish the refueling process before I can get it. And so I'm like, I'll just wait for a bit here. And then some other people, they come in and they start filling up. I'm like, oh, okay.
What's the big idea?
Well, they're getting it working. So maybe, maybe my pump's probably broken. Yeah. Sometimes you see at gas stations, they say, there's a bag over the handle. It's like, this pump is broken. It's like, oh, I'm probably just the first person to recognize that for this particular pump. Mm-hmm. And so I go in to, do my duty and report that it's broken. And like, hey, I'm at pump 3 and it's not letting me fill up. So, and he's like, yeah, I took your card. And I'm like, yeah, no, it did that great. But what I'm more having troubles with is the actual getting the gas out of the pump. That's where I'm struggling. And so they sent this, this lady out to check on it. And, I'm like explaining to her how what's going on. I'm like, see, and I'm like, watch it work right now. This is going to be great. That it's going to have fixed in the time that I came in there. I'm like, no, it's still locked up. And then she's like, let me take a crack at it. And sure enough, she just pulls it and it goes right away. So wow. I'm like, okay, so maybe that's a me issue then, rather than, because, okay, I, not to I'm not trying to make myself look better here, but I do think like I could have gotten it. I was just mostly afraid of breaking the pump, because I'm so strong.
Yes.
And but
that's also why you didn't take off the oil cap.
Right.
You just didn't want to break it.
I don't want to break my car,
No.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't want to break this thing because, I could move it a little ways, but then it was like really had some resistance to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't want to break I don't want to have an ever flowing gas. I've seen, videos of this where people just have the gas just keeps flowing even when it's not in their car and it's overflowing and it's, it's an explosion hazard. Yeah,
Yep.
Exactly. So I was like, I don't want to break it. We've kind of gone over. I've got fears of the gas pump not stopping. We've talked about this.
It's probably kind of your worst nightmare.
Yeah. Exactly. So
you just said leave it to the professionals.
Yeah. There are some states where they don't let you pump your own gas. And so
it's starting to see why.
I was saying, let's just kind of experiment with that where we get someone else out here.
Yep.
But anyway, so grip strength was struggling on Saturday, but we'll have to work on that when I get in the gym and get that going.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll get some hand clenchers. We'll see. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all my updates. We're all up to date here.
I've got nothing else that I think I can mention.
Yeah. So this is it, Ryan.
That's all she wrote.
Yes, we have been going off
Who
script.
is she? I'm not sure.
That's our writer. We've been scripted. This is actually, you think this is unscripted. This is a scripted podcast. I hope you know that. Shout out to Gretna. That's her name. It's a very unique name, but
yeah.
Yeah, she's great. But I don't know if you know about this, but the writers are on strike, Ryan. I mean, you know about this because we're dealing with this intimately, but I don't know if the audience knows. And so Gretna has gone on strike, and so we've only got the amount that she's written for us. And
yes.
So,
and it just ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's
okay. So we've got to figure out.
So let's. This is not good.
What to say? Now we actually have to figure out for ourselves. We have to go unscripted. Oh boy.
I guess. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. I think start with gratitude. That's
gratitude
a good place.
Is always appreciated.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you to everyone who has been listening, whether we know you or not. We appreciate you sticking with us throughout these 50 episodes this past year. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun to do. I've enjoyed kind of recording this. Sometimes the editing is not as it's more of a chore.
As enjoyable. Yep.
Sure. Hey, I just try to leave that to Ryan.
I appreciate that, man.
But no, it's been a lot of fun. It's been good to have people, sticking along with us. It's not like we got crazy big numbers, but I think we ended up getting pretty regularly, like across YouTube and podcasts, we would get like 70 listens a week or so, which is, that's nothing to laugh at. For sure. Nothing to sneeze at, I think is maybe the, you can laugh at it if you want. That's fine, but definitely don't sneeze. Yeah. So we appreciate every one of you.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you got some enjoyment out of us in some form or another, or some other benefit, maybe a good night's sleep or anything else for that matter.
Nap time kind of routine.
At least, a few people reached out to us saying that the podcast really helped them. And, that's why we do it, right?
Exactly.
I don't know exactly that's why we did it, but I'm certainly glad that that's something that happened.
Yeah, that's incredible, frankly. That's really been cool to see. But we are going to be taking that away, though, from you. So just keep that in mind. I guess one question that I don't know if we've really gotten it, but why are we ending this? I think I think the main reason is it feels like a good place to end it. You know, part of having a podcast is knowing when to stop. That's
Yes.
that's something that you need to keep into consideration. So we felt like, I don't know, I feel like graduation, you're ending college, you're ending a lot of these things, so might as well just end your podcast along with that. Additionally, for me at least, I'm definitely concerned about not having much to talk about moving forward. I mean, there's always, you know, there'll be the little things that come up. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot more of the same. There's going to be a lot less change day to day.
I definitely shared a similar concern.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, today I woke up.
Yep.
About
went to work.
Yep. Clocked out at around 5 p.m. and headed home.
Yeah.
Made myself some dinner, and yeah.
You know, that's not to say that, you know, we won't be able to find the fun in our days here, but definitely concerned about that. And so felt like this would be a good stopping place here. So, and you know, I feel like it went on for a good amount of time, much like this episode, really.
Yeah.
You know, a year, more or less, a little bit less, but yeah, I feel like it's just good. I'm excited to look back when I'm older.
The good news, you know, is that the episodes aren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can always go back and listen. Please do.
Yeah, exactly. I know Charlie has anticipated kind of a post-mortem blow up of the podcast.
Sure,
so.
I'm definitely hoping for that we become some sort of cult classic and are widely celebrated.
Yeah, that's why we do it. So
that's right.
No, yeah, I you know, don't make us bring back season 2. No. But no, I'm excited to look back when I'm older and at this, you know, where were we at senior year from a maturity standpoint, or just what was going on, you know? So I think that'll be a fun kind of time capsule there, at least. But
yeah, is a reunion episode in the cards? I would say don't hold your breath.
Okay.
But I would also say don't rule it out either.
Yeah, you're not going to want to hold your breath because it would be at least a week.
It would be.
I don't think you could. I
certainly can't hold my breath that long.
I would love. I think, Ryan. I think what we do is, I did tell people that this was just a marketing stunt to get people to listen in, and so I say we keep doing reunion episodes weekly, and just keep going.
That's right.
I think that would be good. But yeah, I think that would be that could be in the cards. We'll see.
The 1 week reunion.
Yeah, exactly. Perhaps yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. I've got 2 primary lessons that I've learned from this past year of doing the podcast. The first is things are almost never as bad as you think they are. This kind of comes in 2 respects.
Awesome.
One particular instance was that one job interview that I had, that I came on and I was like, that was the worst that I'd ever done. And it turned out to be fine. They didn't have any qualms with it. They offered me a job and I said no.
So incredible to me.
Right. Yeah. I don't really believe it. But anyway, but the other aspect of it is the episodes that we had that I left and I was like, man, that was not very good. And, you know, maybe
there are a few of them.
That was accurate statement. It was not very good, but none of the episodes I feel like were as bad as I maybe thought they were at the time. You know, some of those, it's like, man, that was not our best stuff. And listening back, it's like, yeah, that was fine. That was okay.
It builds character.
Right. Exactly. That's right. It takes you down a notch. No, but so lesson 1, things are never as bad as you think they are. Almost. Maybe. I don't know. I'll hedge my bets there. Lesson 2, always hedge your bets. No.
Naturally.
No. And then the second one, which is kind of, I guess, the hope with the whole podcast in general, But I feel like there's a lot more joy in the small things than you might think that there is. Like, I feel like from week to week, almost all of the things that I feel like a lot of the things that I was talking about were just little things that happened. Like, you think about, like, what are the big things coming up? Like, oh, I got this big event, I got this whatever. But I feel like there was less that comes out of that than just like day-to-day life, you know? And so I think that's, I don't know, I think that's kind of a good thing to keep in mind, you know, even as I go into the mundane schedule of, you know, work and whatnot, you know, there's still a lot that can come out of that. So I think that's my second takeaway from doing this podcast here. So, Ryan, any off the cuff takeaways?
I would have to agree with everything you said.
Okay, good.
First and foremost, off the cuff, I don't know. I think those are two really good lessons.
Thank you.
Honestly. I'm not sure how you managed to come up with them. But
That's very unlike you. That's very unlike you.
Great stuff. I agree. I think a large portion of what we talked about was the small stuff. And
I think, yeah, most of the better portions that we had.
Yeah, I would definitely second that.
Yeah. So now just something to keep in mind as you go into your day-to-day and whatnot, into your life post 3 a.m. in the afternoon. I know it's kind of,
mind. Keep it small.
Yeah, I know it's kind of entering a new era of the world, you could say. So I think that's really most of what I've got here. Any final thoughts, Ryan, as we send this off into the sunset?
I have got no thoughts other than thinking about how much of a blast it's been. That was off the cuff. But
really?
You know, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad we could do this. I'm glad everyone listened, and feel free to keep listening. And by that I mean go back to our episodes, kind of put them on repeat, and maybe we'll see you again.
Maybe. All right. Well, it's 3:59 a.m. in the afternoon, Ryan.
The clock is about to strike midnight.
So, you know, as we end this hour, it's been a pleasure, everyone. And we'll see you at 4 a.m.
Welcome back, guys. It's the what are we calling this thing?
I think it's like, I don't know, some
3 p.m. in the morning.
Noon on a Wednesday.
It's noon on a Wednesday. So it was noon on a Wednesday about 9 hours ago.
It was.
Now it's